What is up, everybody? Utinni Designs here with another P2S XTool workshop. Today we're going to be doing clear acrylic, which I've had some success with and some not success with. So we're going to try a couple things today on the P2S and see if we can get this thing figured out. One thing I did do is I created this little pin stand, this little desk stand for pins out of 6mm green glass acrylic. This acrylic is actually from Glowforge, and then I put a walnut, 3mm walnut base on it. The issue that I'm having, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the camera, but you can sort of see these little masking areas, these little smudges up at the top of the letters. Let's see if I can get the camera to, you can really see it on that T, right up here at the top of the T, right here. They're smudges, and really at the bottom of Utinni, you can really see it. So I'm not sure what that is. When I did this, I did it with the tape that comes on the acrylic and just engraved it. What I assume it is the dust from the engraving heating up and then adhering to the acrylic. So I've scoured the internet for tips. I've asked in forums, and I've gotten mixed results. Some say use masking tape. Some say use painter's tape. Some say use Dawn liquid. And since I already used the manufacturer tape that comes on the acrylic, and it did this, and then I also did a version without any tape on it, and it still did it, I'm going to try the Dawn liquid soap test and see if that works. So we have everything set up. Here's our design. I did mirror it this time. The first time I did not mirror it. And that way the design shows through the glass instead of being on the front. So on this current version that I have, let me pull this out of here. On this current version that I have, I engraved on the front, so you can feel the engraving. But on this time what I'm doing is I'm mirroring the design, so when you look at it on the clean side, it should show through, except the correct way, because we're mirroring it. So that's what we're going to try and see if we can get rid of this little cloudiness areas, because I've tried everything to get it off. I've tried scraping it with my fingernail. Sometimes that works, but there's a lot of it. I've tried Goo Begone. I've tried 4WD-40. I've tried a soft sponge and Dawn Power Wash, and none of it's coming off. So we're just going to try a couple other things. Hey, Gap. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's cool if I can get the little mistakes out of it, and that's what we're trying today, is to try that. So I got my xTool P2S here, and I also have a new setup, so hopefully you can hear me a little bit better while the machine's running. We'll test that. We also have a new cam, because I told you I was going to set up an overhead cam, and there's the overhead shot. So hopefully we'll be able to see that. Now I can raise this lid, and you can see the inside of the laser. Now, obviously, I can't laser with the lid up. That's a safety feature. But hopefully you'll be able to see this a little bit better when the machine's working. So we're going to test that out as well. So let's jump in here and let me go to my settings, and I'll go ahead and switch this camera over to the top view so we have that. So my settings for this is engrave, 25% power, 350 speed, 1 pass, 200 lines per centimeter. What I also did is I went up here to device settings, and I went down to airflow on air pump. For engrave, it was originally at 30. I turned it down to 0, and it automatically put it at 10%. So I don't think you can actually turn it to 0. I don't think xTool allows you to do that. But 10% is better than 30%. So, and then on the cuts, we're still doing 100% air pump. So air assist. So I did change those. So we'll see if that gives us a better result. I'm going to go ahead and go to process. I've already measured everything. This is 6mm clear acrylic. We're going to go ahead and close the close shot and refresh the background if it'll let me. Let's say right click. Okay, refresh background. So this should show me my entire bed now. Let's see, delete closed view. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and go to process over here. It's going to send it to the laser. Now what it's going to do is it's going to cut, or I'm sorry, it's going to engrave, and then it's going to cut. So we're going to hit start, and we're going to see what this does here. So let me remove this. We'll go over here. We will press our button and hope for the best. So again, the only thing I did is I put some Dawn liquid soap, dishwashing liquid soap on it prior to doing this engrave. So we're going to see how that turns out. Hopefully that gets rid of the little, I call them blob areas. I'm not sure what you would call that, ghosting or hazing. So we'll see what happens. So it's going to do the engrave first, and then it's going to cut. Now, when it cuts, it's going to automatically bump that air assist from 10% up to 100% to help do a cleaner cut. So like I said, this is my second time trying this. The engraving came out great on the first try, but on the second try, or on the like I said, on the first try, it had some hazing or ghosting or whatever you want to call it. And the only thing I can surmise is, even though I had the manufacturer's paper on both sides, is that the laser was heating up the dust that comes off of the engrave, and it's adhering to the clear part of the glass. Now, obviously, you would think, okay, well, to fix that, you would just mask it, right? Well, the paper that comes from the manufacturer that's on it should act as a masking, but apparently not. So we're going to try it with this Dawn liquid soap, see what it does, and if that doesn't work, then we will try masking tape and see if that works. Because it's doing a great job on the engraving. It's just the little cloudiness around the letters and everything that's really kind of messing up the piece. So we're going to try it a couple different ways. And we also have an ornament to do. If we can get this successful, we will do the ornament as well for a client. So we're going to play with this a little bit and see what we can come up with. And hopefully we don't run out of this green glass acrylic, because I only have one sheet of it. And as you can see, where the paper's at, the white area on your screen, is all I have left once we do these engraves, basically. So hopefully we can get this dialed in and I can actually get it done. So this soap I did let dry a little bit. It's not wet application. I put it on there, rubbed it around with my fingers, got it in the area where the engrave was going to be, and then let it sit, for a couple minutes, let it kind of dry up. Some people say let it dry up. Some people say do it wet. So if this doesn't work, we'll try it the wet way and see if that helps. It's almost done with the engraving, and then it's going to go to the cutting. Now, the way I have this set up in the XCS software, like I mentioned before, is during the engrave, the air assist is only at 10%. When it goes to cutting, it will bump that air assist up to 100%. So you get a much cleaner cut. The theory behind that is some people thought that the air assist was too high, even at 30%, and it was blowing that dust around, and then that dust was getting trapped and then heating up, and that's what's causing the cloudiness around some of the engraving that will not come off because it's baked into the acrylic. So my hope is that this works. So we will see. But you're going to watch me screw up $40 worth of clear acrylic live. So if nothing else, that'll be entertaining. It's like we're almost done with the engrave, and then it'll go to the cut, and it'll cut this piece out, and that way we can take a look at it without moving around our main sheet of acrylic. Now it's going to the cut. I hear the air assist come on. So hopefully this works. This machine is a lot slower than my F1 Ultra, but it has the ability to do clear acrylic and do 90-degree cuts, which my F1 Ultra cannot do. So that's the reason for this machine. And it has a much larger working area. Okay, so that is done. I'm going to let these fumes extract out a little bit, and we'll be right back to see if this worked or not. All right, moment of truth here. I think the easiest way to get this out without removing the entire piece and having to line everything up again is to get some masking tape, just wrap it around my fingers, and try to just pull straight up. And as long as it cut all the way through, it should just come right up. Because I don't want to move this entire piece if I don't have to, because then you have to remeasure and everything else. So turn that fan off so you can hear me. So let me get some masking tape and wrap around my fingers here. And we're just going to try to pull this piece up without moving the entire piece. So yeah, I thought that would work. There, it almost popped. Maybe it won't work. Maybe I need something a little bit more grippier. Or maybe that soap is keeping it from. I bet you that's what it is. All right, so we're just going to do the finger pop. Pop it up with my finger. Hopefully without moving the rest of the piece. There we go. So it did definitely cut all the way through. As you can see, no issues there. Now the question is did this work? So I'm going to run to the kitchen real quick, wash this off, and come right back, and we will see if this worked or not. So bear with me. Well, I think we have a wiener. Ladies and gentlemen, let me close this. And we will switch over to my other camera. And that way we can show you what we got. So we engraved it this way. And as you can see, with the Dawn liquid soap, there is no cloudiness around the letters. Okay, so that's good. And then when you flip it around this way, you have it the right direction. So, as a comparison, this was with the masking tape that comes from the manufacturer on there, okay? And you see all those cloudy areas. You cannot get those off easily. I've tried everything and I can't get them off. Versus our new one, using Dawn liquid soap prior to engraving. Much, much better. So when we put this in our little desk stand here, we now have a very clean looking piece of acrylic. So thank you to everybody in the Facebook groups and online, and my buddy Brett Morton, who gave me the tip for using the Dawn liquid soap on it prior to engraving. That worked. So since we know that worked, we are going to go ahead and engrave this ornament. So let me switch to the next deal here. We want to make sure our ornament is in fact mirrored, which it is. And we're going to do a quick auto measure just one more time, just to double check. And then we're using the exact same settings. So on the cut, it's 90% power, 6 speed, 1 pass. On the engrave, it's 25% power, 300 speed, 200 lines per centimeter, and 1 pass. So I'm going to go ahead and process this. We already have our Dawn liquid soap on there. So we're going to start. And let me set up my camera here so you see it instead of me, because nobody wants to see me while we're doing cool engraving stuff. So here's our bed. We've already got it ready to go. Nothing has moved. Here we go. So I'm very happy that the Dawn liquid soap worked. So again, thank you to Brett Morton and everybody online who said to try that. That worked actually really well. So we'll see if this one comes out a little bit different, because it is a little bit more involved engrave. I don't know if I'll try the masking tape, because like I said, when I originally did the first design, it had the manufacturer's tape or paper or whatever you want to call it on there that's adhered to the front and the back of the acrylic. So I have a feeling that that will produce the same results as putting masking tape on. So, but the Dawn liquid soap seems to work. So hopefully this ornament will come out the same way, and we can move on and be able to do this. Because this is one of the reasons for this P2S is to do clear acrylic. So very happy with the results thus far. So we'll just have to see how this this other one turns out. Acrylic is not necessarily the cheapest thing to engrave, but the results are very, very nice, very clean. and it can be used for a multitude of things, from LED lights to ornaments to keychains to signage, desktop items. I mean, it's really versatile, uh, even though it's a little expensive compared to like wood, but the results are really nice. Looks like we're about a quarter away through so far. So we'll see if this one turns out as good. Now this one, I did put the Dawn liquid soap on prior, so it has been dried for much longer than the little desktop Utinni Designs deal we just did. So we'll see if that makes a difference. I don't think it will, but you never know. And I think basically what this is doing is the liquid soap is acting as a barrier in between the dust and the acrylic to keep it from sticking. Because obviously when you have acrylic dust being blown and then you have a 55-watt laser going over it, it's basically melting the dust to the clear acrylic, where this keeps that from happening. Supposedly. It worked on the first try, so hopefully it works on this one. And again, we mirrored this image, so the image is actually on the back side, and the front side will be the clear, shiny acrylic. So you don't have, when you rub your finger over the front side, it's smooth. It's not going to be rough. Where on my first design and engrave, you rub your finger over it and it's rough on the front. And while that may be the look some people are going for, I think it's better to mirror it. That way you have the smooth on the front side towards the customer. And again, my settings for this, it looks like we got about 3 minutes left on this. My settings for this ornament, and this is 6mm green glass acrylic from Glowforge. It is cast acrylic, and the settings are engrave is at 25% power, 300 speed, 200 lines per centimeter. And then the cut is 90% power, 6mm a second speed, and 1 pass. The air assist I turned down to 10% on the engrave and turned back up to 100% on the cut function. So we're going to see how this works here. So just a quick little workshop today. Since we haven't run into any issues yet, knock on wood, then maybe this will just be a straight up successful little trial, which would be nice, because I don't like messing up $40 worth of acrylic. That gets expensive. Looks like we're almost done with the engraving part. And for those NFL fans out there, the Carolina Panthers are playing the Arizona Cardinals, and the Panthers are winning 20-17 at halftime, in case anybody cared. So now we're on to the cutting. Now, don't worry about those little flare-ups that you see. That's just the laser touching the sap that I still have on the slats from some wood cutting. I need to clean those slats to keep that from happening. And it looks like we're done. So again, I'm going to let that sit for a second, let the air kind of be sucked out of the machine, because acrylic does stink. Even though I have an inline fan going outside, it does put off a little bit of an odor, but not bad, at least with this particular acrylic. All right, so let's raise this up, and there we go. So I'm not sure if I can pop this out with my finger or not. Yep, there we go. All right, so that's what it looks like. Let me find my camera here. When it's right out of the laser. So the cut is very, very clean. So now we're going to take, instead of running to the kitchen this time, I'm going to take a wet wipe and see if we can't just do it right here live. So let me switch cameras here back to this. Hello. And we're going to move this camera down so you can kind of see the table here, hopefully. Let me adjust this. This is part of my new work setup, so bear with me here. We're going to move these out of the way. So here's our piece. Okay, and I'm just going to take a wet wipe, and we're just going to wipe this off, which should be the same as washing it, hopefully. We'll see how this works here. It's a little messy. I probably should be using a towel instead of a paper towel. Try to get this a little closer to the camera so you can see it. Okay. So now we're just going to take our paper towel and wipe the back of it. And I may still have to go get a regular towel, which I think I will, just to get the rest of the residue off, especially in the letters and stuff. See if I can dab it on my hoodie. Maybe that helps. All right, let me go wash this real quick, and we will be right back. So bear with me. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. I'll raise my camera up here a little bit. Hello. Okay, now we got to get it straight. There we go. So, oh, I have my focus. There we go. So this is the back of it. As you can see, there is no hazing anymore. And this is the side that it did engrave on. So that's good. And then this is the front. No hazing around any of it. So that worked. That worked like a damn champ. Very nice. Very excited that that not only worked, but that opens up a new avenue to do some cool things with acrylic. So very cool. I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and get these pieces out of this tray here so I don't forget those, because we don't want acrylic pieces in here bouncing around the laser for sure. I can get my tray back in. That should be good. The machine will tell me if it's not. So very cool. Very happy with that result. So there it is. Again, that's the engraved side, and then the side that faces the customer. No cloudiness like we had in this one. As you can see, there's cloudiness right here. The top of the letters, even on these little letters, there's a little cloudiness. On this, perfectly clean. No issues. And then the same with our desk piece. No issues versus issues. So very cool. Very happy with that. So now I guess this can be a test piece. I don't know what I'd test it for, but it's a pretty thick piece of acrylic. There's not a lot of room to test on it, but hey, that's why you learn, right? Oh, in case you wonder what this is, this little hat clip that I laser engrave. So I do offer these for $8. If you're if you wear hats and want to dress up your hats a little bit, they're just a clip that comes right off. Okay. And you can get any logo or image you want on it. And then I have the little Utinni Designs on the back side, and that just clips right onto your hat. And it's a little hat decoration, swag, whatever you want to call it. So I do sell those for $8 a piece. And I can put any image or whatnot you want on it. They're just small, so keep that in mind when you want an image or whatnot on it. Yeah, thanks, Gap. I appreciate that, buddy. Very happy with the way those came out with that Dawn liquid soap. So again, thanks to Brett Morton and everybody on the Facebook groups. Appreciate that that little tip, because like I said, the paper that came on this did not work, which is kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. So I think I'm going to take this out of here now. and clean off this soap residue that is on the acrylic, because it is messy. And that's probably just going to make it worse by rubbing it around. Oh man, that is nasty stuff. So I guess that's the downside to doing it, is it's a mess. But like I said, when I tried to burn through this, engrave through this paper, I got those marks. So you know, that's where you got this cloudiness areas, which is not what we want. But still got some good acrylic there. Got some pieces here I can use, pieces here, and then of course this whole side here. And let me tell you, I don't know what Glowforge put on this or the manufacturer they get it from, but this stuff is hard to peel off. I figured, well, you just get an edge, you just pull at an angle, and it'll come right off. No, that's not how this works. So see, I got a piece right here, and I'm slowly pulling, and it breaks off into little tiny pieces. So there, I got a piece, pulling, and see, it's kind of leaving there's some AMSMR or whatever you call it sounds for you. But yeah, it doesn't pull off cleanly. So it takes some time to get that off. So very happy with the acrylic. Not happy with the application of the protective tape that you have on both sides. So y'all need to work on that. You need to have like a vinyl or something that peels off better, peels off in one piece. And maybe I just got a defective tape. I don't know, but that part sucks. So for you manufacturers out there, don't do that, because that's time consuming, and time is money. So I'm going to put this back in my little material bin here. And yeah, I think it's probably about time to clean this laser. I've done several projects on it now, and as you can see, let me switch my cameras here. It's kind of dirty. So, and you may not be able to see it on camera. There's some dust from the acrylic. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then when we were getting those little flare-ups, oh, here's a good thing to show you. These removable screens for the airflow. Yeah, you can still see through it, but look at that debris that's on there. See all that? So I need to go wash those. So there's one there, and then there's one in the back. And then these slats, you can see the, maybe, I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not. There you kind of can. The greasiness, that's sap from laser engraving wood. So you got to clean those. Let's see what Gap says here. Merry Christmas to you and your family. I've got to get going. Always enjoy your streams. Gap, thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to you and your family, buddy. Hope you have a great one. I don't know if I'll do any more lives between now and Christmas, but if I have some projects come up that I want to, throw in there and see what we can do, I may do that. So thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you, and see you at some point, hopefully before the new year. So yeah, the cleaning of this is actually pretty simple. But as you can see, there's some of that acrylic dust. So definitely need to wipe this down with a cloth of some sort. and then clean these slats. There you can see some of the sap residue, that brown stuff. That's from the from wood burning and cutting wood. So definitely need to clean that a little bit. So acrylic is cool. It does leave your machine rather messy though. So we're going to go ahead and shut this machine off. And the reason I'm doing that is so I can safely move this gantry. I can just pull this, and then there's another airflow area here. And I probably should be using blue shop towels instead of great value Walmart cheapo paper towels. But you can see that one's pretty dirty. So we're going to take those to the kitchen and wash them and get all that debris off there, let them dry, and then throw them back in the machine. And then at some point we will clean our inline fan out, as well as our fans in the back of the xTool P2, and make sure all those are good. The screens are supposed to block a lot of the dust, but obviously some gets in there. So we want to make sure we keep that clean and ready to go. So move our gantry back. So I think that's all I got for y'all today. I definitely appreciate everyone hopping on and watching me take this this journey in lasering, and hopefully you learned something. So if you're doing clear acrylic on a CO2 laser, whether it be an xTool or another brand, Omnitech or any of those, and you're having clouding issues around letters, then get some Dawn dish soap, rub it on there before you engrave, and then engrave, and you will have a crisp and clean engrave with no clouding. So hopefully that little tip helps you. I've also heard masking tape helps, but like I said, the acrylic that I had a protective manufacturer's tape on both sides, and that's what this piece came from. And as you can see, it has clouding that you cannot get off. Okay. And then this was with the Dawn dish soap. And as you can see, no clouding. Super clean. No issues. So that's all I have for you all today. I appreciate everyone who helps me on this journey and who likes and subscribes. Hit that like and subscribe button. Tell your friends. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, which we still have 800 subscribers more to go, we will be doing a very cool giveaway. And at 200 subscribers, we will also be doing a small giveaway. So hit that like and subscribe, and who knows, you may be a winner. But if I don't see you all before the big man arrives in a couple days, I hope you all have a merry and safe Christmas and a happy new year, and keep lasering, keep 3D printing, and keep collecting. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching Utinni Designs. I'm Justin Jacobs, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Utinni!